Hi Aries, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign, Aries, this is for you. Remember, there's no astrology in these. They're purely tarot. So watch them for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, it's also worth mentioning, before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your before we get into that, I was going to say, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel and you want some of this Rafi love, which you know you do, alright, hit the subscribe button. Alright, so your key to the week this week is the Moon card. It can be a card of confusion. It can be a card of sort of things not being as clear as we would like them. But the Moon card for me, very often it represents the past. And, you know, I remember hearing something in a line in a film once where this guy said, you know, whenever you dig up the past is all you get, whenever you dig up the past, all you get is dirty. And that really struck a chord with me. It's not to say, like, happy memories, nostalgia, all of that stuff has its place, right? It absolutely does. Our memories are, you know, I can't remember who it was that said, our memories are a wonderful source of magic, and, you know, we can tap into them at any moment in our lives. And it's so true, right? That's different. But when we start sort of ruminating and totally reflecting on the past and going into it, you know, what I could have done this different, I should have done that better. There's nothing there but hurt, right? So leave it be this week. Now, in all of these different areas of your life, the past may show up in some way, shape or form. This is especially pertinent for you. I know I said I wasn't going to talk astrology, but Mercury is currently retrograde, and it's retrograde in your sign, right? So this is an Aries Mercury retrograde. On top of that, as well, when I put these out, the eclipse, yeah, in fact you'll be getting this just before the eclipse hits. So, well, for those of you that watch them, you know, when they drop, and for those of you that do, and that you like and you share and you subscribe and you send it all over to friends and family, I love you for it. But yeah, it will be interesting to see how it shows up and what cards sort of come out for you. Now, I also want to mention my next tarot course intake will start on the 18th of April. So 18th of this month, right? You will be able to study with me. It's a 12-week course. We get right into it from the foundation, like really to give you a solid foundation. So if you want to learn tarot and you're interested in doing that with me, stick around, because the enrollment will open on the 18th and it will close promptly on the 30th. All right, so for your actions and options, you've got the Nine of Pentacles, right? And so you're, especially as an actions card, the Nine of Pentacles is really now about taking time out for yourself, taking time to stop and smell the roses. You've got this with the Moon card, which in a sense, it kind of speaks to you maybe releasing the past, looking over things and realizing, you know what, I did the best that I possibly could without being able to do any more. But as an action, the Nine of Pentacles, it really is about taking it slow. It's about taking it easy. And through the guise of the Moon card, one of the things that you might find that you're really drawn to this week is some sort of somatic work to release trauma and challenge and conflict and issues from the physical body. This would be a great week for some form of a cleanse, you know, not a fad diet or anything like that, but some form of a cleanse. Maybe you say to yourself, you know what, this week I'm going to not have any sugar, or you know what, I'm going to have 1 cup of coffee instead of 6 throughout the day. You know, it doesn't have to be extreme. It just has to really hit on a physical bodily level. In terms of the options that are available to you, this will be where a window of sorts opens up around your work and your career. For your career and, or your, should I say, your communications and conversations. Look at this, right? You've got the Moon card again. So you've got a double hit of the Moon. Now, here's where this gets really interesting to me in my tarot geek brain. The Moon card is number 18. 1 and 8 gives you 9. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles, we've got the Moon card, which is effectively a 9, and we've also got the Moon card again, which is effectively a 9. 3 9s in the tarot represent success. If you want to find out how I do that, You can get that on the tarot course on the 18th. Jokes aside, this is communications and conversations that do come in from the past. There is a lot of memory this week. There's a lot of looking back. There's a lot of intuitive feeling around the past. There's a lot of you, maybe, the stormy waters of the emotions might really be trilling this week. And with the Moon card, you are having conversations that you've had before. You're going over old ground in some way, right? Especially with Mercury, the planet of communication, retrograde in your sign. This makes so much sense. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, it might be harder to concentrate this week because you've got a lot sort of floating around in the mind. And if that is the case, I urge you this week actually to start with the body, right? Have that one less cup of coffee a day and see what a difference it makes. Get that extra hour of sleep in, right, a night, and see what a difference it makes. There's all of these things that are showing up for you this week that are kind of giving you that experience to say to you, the confusion and the sort of wishy-washy fuzzy brain that you're feeling at the moment can be alleviated with, the solid principles. Get your water, make sure you're sleeping right, especially around an eclipse that's in your sign, right? It's not just Mercury retrograde that's in your sign, it's also the eclipse. This is, if there were ever a time to really practice self-care and nourish and nurture yourself on a mind, body and spirit level, this would be it, okay? Oh my gosh, I just broke my dream. I had a dream last night about something that I was told to do, and it's just broken. So in my family, in our heritage, in my family, actually, a lot of us dream the future, and I can say that without look at we're so wonderful. It's not that at all. This is something that I have observed time and time again within the lineage of my family. It's just something that we were gifted with, I believe. And what's really fucking blowing my mind, it's just, as many of you know, I recently just buried my grandmother, and heritage and all of those things are really coming up quite prominently at the moment. And what's really even more interesting, I know, sorry, this is an Aries reading, and this has got nothing to do with it, so I apologize for the overly personal share. That's my nana right there. She was a beautiful woman, and here's where this gets really interesting. My mum is an Aries, my sister is an Aries ascendant, and my niece, my sister's daughter, is an Aries. So like, just to see all of this playing out in a really sort of, this is crazy. All right, anyway, yes, the reason I said that is because all of us, and that's just 3 people in this side of my family, like, we're all very pertinent dreamers, and we've all dreamt many things over a lifetime, right? So it's just, it's really cool. Anyway, I know what I need to do. And you'll probably see this pop up soon, so remember this reading. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, this will be reconnections with somebody that you've worked with in the past. Maybe a work colleague, maybe somebody who became a friend but you no longer work with, but you're getting in touch with old employers, people that you used to work with. Maybe an old boss is getting into contact, especially because that 9 of Pentacles, there's a chance here to make money from something that you used to do. So it might not necessarily be that you go back to your old job. It may be that they ask you to come in to assist with something, and you say, you know what, yeah, actually that kind of works for me as well, on a part-time or a consultancy kind of level. So this could be really cool. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, I would not be surprised if you have an influx of old clients, people that you haven't seen for a long time, companies that you used to work with or on behalf of, now sort of start showing back up. Remember, the Moon card is the past. For those of you that are retired or no longer working for any reason, this week I think you will understand more than ever the need to be busy, right? So you might find that it's like, you know what, I have to do something. I can't just sit still. For your love and relations, you've got the Wheel of Fortune. I kind of like this, actually. It's an interesting card to have for love, because the Wheel of Fortune really is about a change of luck. And you know, when I see this for the relationship, for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, an old conversation that you've had ad nauseum at this point, right? Maybe you're just like, you know what, we're tired of having this conversation because it always leads to an argument. Well, this time round, you could actually find that it leads to a resolution. You come to a very clear and concise idea of, okay, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we move forward in a way that is, you know, beneficial for both of us. For those of you that are single and looking, this is a reconnection from your past, somebody that you dated, somebody that you slept with, maybe an old FWB, if you know, you know, that comes back around. Now, I got to be honest, just because of the energy that's in the sky at the moment, I wouldn't necessarily say that this was for, you know, full reconnection. I would say that this is probably more for, you know, we came together, we had some more fun, it was great, take care. If we, you know, reconnect, we do. If we don't, we don't. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like you come together at a time where maybe that's something that you need right now. For your money and materials, you have the Queen of Swords. Now this with the Moon card and a double hit of the Moon card, I might add, there could be an old issue, challenge, or dispute of some sort over finances, money, or resources that comes up. There could also be you needing to deal with something on a financial level and having to really cross the T's and dot the I's. It may be, though, that you have to really fight for this. If there's something that you need, something that you require, something that you're maybe wanting to see play out in a certain way, you might have to really fight for it. It's the Queen of Swords. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, especially with a double hit of the Moon card, this week, now, this isn't to say that there's anything wrong. And also, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. This is not a diagnosis. But if you are having problems, challenges, or issues with if you have kidney problems, kidney troubles, etc., this would be a week to, you know, or if you're going to a doctor because something is wrong and you can't figure out what, start there just to see if there's anything going on, right? When it comes to your home and environment, this with the Moon card, there's some sort of shite, excuse my language, that will kick off outside your home this week. It won't be happening directly to you, but it will be happening sort of on the street around you. And for a lot of you, this might kickstart the idea where you say, you know what, I want out of here. I'm ready to move on. It's not a guarantee and it's not for all of you, but it is a possibility and it's something that I want you to consider. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care and I'll see you soon.